Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here. I am joining you from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia for my regular Wednesday morning Facebook Live. Today I am extra excited though to be doing this live because yesterday we had a new catalog go live, and so our new January to June 2022, that sounds weird, mini catalog and our celebration catalog both went live. So good morning, Gail. Happy New Year. So today I've got some Abstract Beauty Suite products to share with you, and lots of exciting news. So I'm going to switch my camera view over and let you see my desktop. So there we go. Now this is the whole suite that I have here on the table. So the Abstract Beauty Suite has the Hello Beautiful stamp set in it. Comes with some awesome dies that cut out the hexagons, little diamonds, hexagons that layer into the other hexagons, triangles, so you can make like even, I was thinking like the Trivial Pursuit pieces and stuff, and then some really fun kind of textured circles and ovals and stuff. So really, really nice dies. So those are like the bundle that comes in the suite. And then all the other product that's in there are some adhesive backed hexagons in the 3 colors, some absolutely amazing designer series paper, and they've kind of changed it up. Instead of our regular 6x6, it's actually a 4x6 now. Not for everything, just for this one suite. And so these are really beautiful. One side is all this like metallic accents kind of look to the papers, and all really kind of funky abstract art style papers. And then the other side is kind of more a little bit abstract, but mostly just like solid colors, nice washes, little patterns, and lots of really nice accent pieces to go with that metallic on the other side. So that is our designer series paper, and it's 4x6, which means it's actually really nice because I typically put a layer of 4x5¼ onto a card front. So it's already 4. We can trim it at 4¼ You have a full card front and a little extra piece to play with. So really nice in that regard. So that's the designer series paper. It comes with this embellishment pack, and so you actually get 2 of everything in here. Let me just open this one up. So you get 2 of the hearts, 2 of the big stars, small hearts, all of that, all the little speech bubbles. Then there's a whole other sheet with these fun square outlines and some flowers. And then finally some vellum and gold embellishments. So really, really neat packet. And it's nice that you get 2 of everything. All right, so that's the embellishment package. And then the fourth kind of extra, like aside from the bundle that you get in the pack, is these fancy cards and envelopes. So there's a bunch of solid colored like washes with the fancy envelopes, and these are in like all the colors that are in our designer series paper. So the pinks and the navy and the black and the blues and greens. And then and the oranges as well. And then you also get these envelopes, and then they come with fun little washes just kind of in the center of the card. So there's the black and the navy and the blue and the pink, and I think there's a green one as well. So really, really fun little pack there. So it's 10 envelopes and 10 card bases that you get in that little pack. I know, isn't the paper gorgeous, Gail? I love the gold accent. I'm not usually a gold person, but the gold accent I quite like. So yeah, in this suite, you get the cards, the embellishment or the ephemera pack, the designer series paper, the adhesive backed hexagons, and the stamp set and dies are all part of the suite. And so that's what I'm going to be working with today. I'm going to move these out of the way so that I can actually get designing. So I have chosen a couple of the designer series papers This one I think is my favorite. I love that black and gray speckled look. And then the other side has like the flowers and gold bits on it. So this is the paper we're going to start with. But instead of cutting this, like I had mentioned, we could cut it at 5 1/4 and layer it quite nicely onto a card front, right? Instead of doing that, I'm going to go with something I saw a sketch challenge that used the 4 strips of paper again. So I am actually going to be cutting up this paper using one of, it's the second size in the smaller of the rectangles in our stitched rectangles dies. So I'm going to be using that, and this actually will just cut out 4 pieces from this paper. So I'm going to go grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, unfortunately, this die is just a little bit wide. Really works best to have them under 3 inches wide to use the baby one. So we've got to pull in the big guy, sorry. And we're going to have to do this 4 times. So while I do this, because it's kind of boring, I am going to just show you a little tip though with these rectangles. I don't want to put it in so that that rectangle goes in straight. It's going to go in like a speed bump if I do that and make a huge cracking noise. Won't actually wreck anything, it's just hard to do. So I'm going to turn it so that that front corner is leading. It doesn't have to be a big angle, just as long as the corner is leading as we roll this in. That is going to allow us to roll this through smoothly. And then I don't want to roll it all the way through, so I'm just going to roll it back a second time. So I need 4 of these, so I'm going to cut these out. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to let you know that one of the reasons I'm showcasing this particular suite, aside from the fact that I love it, is that coming up in February 5th and 6th, I have another mega stamp camp, and I do mean mega. 7 other demonstrators plus myself, so 8 of us total, have got together to put on an abstract beauty stamp camp. So it'll be a 16-card stamp camp, and you can actually earn access to that stamp camp for free when you purchase this suite from me. Now there is a link in the description of my video that kind of goes into further detail. So if like you're a demo who would like to attend this camp and you're like, oh, I already have the stamp set and dies, we do have an option for you. But for anybody who is a customer who doesn't have any of this, your best deal to grab all this stuff is to grab the suite. And when you buy that from me, you actually will earn free entry to our stamp camp. The whole thing takes place in a private Facebook group. And so if you can't make it on the exact dates, all the videos will be live on the 5th and 6th, but all the videos will be there for a long time for you to go back and reference. And also lots of people go back and reference them because to make 16 cards over 2 days, that's quite the time commitment. We stamp from 9:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, both Saturday and Sunday. But you know, we do prizes and we put in lunch breaks and everything. That's not, you know, totally nonstop. But what a great way to spend a cold, snowy February weekend. And so it's a lot of fun. And so, yeah, so I wanted to show you these products so that you knew kind of like what it is this stamp camp could include. Now, this card that we're creating today actually isn't one of the cards from the stamp camp. But I've seen over half the designs now, and they are absolutely gorgeous. You're going to love them. All right, so we've got that cut out. I can move this off to the side for just a moment. I am going to have to bring it back to do a few more cuts because there's so many great dies in this set. So that leaves me with that little frame. You could keep it, I guess, and use it for something, kind of a fun little border or whatever, but I'm going to just toss mine because I have too many scraps as it is. All right, so I've got these little guys all cut out, and now I have a piece of smoky slate cardstock here that is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to take these and glue them down. And when I glue them down, I'm not going to glue them, like try and be straight and glue them all perfect or anything. I'm actually going to come along and I'm just going to kind of do a trial run to see how I want them to overlap on each other. But I am going to kind of like overlap them and make them all uneven. Okay, so I think that's looking good. Maybe have my top one straight as well. Just have the two in the middle kind of crooked. There we go. All right, so that's how I'm going to glue that one down. So I always like to line it up first before I glue it, just so I get a sense of where I want things. All right, so we'll get these. And I do like to use liquid glue, just because then I can wiggle things a bit if I don't like exactly where I got them. But you could definitely do this with seal or really any adhesive will do. All right, there we go. Next one. And I am literally just like top to bottom, stack, stack, stack. Next. Okay. So I hope you guys all had a great New Year. It already, one day back to work, and it already feels like it was a year ago. It was an interesting day back at work. We had just some kids at our school, just kids of essential service workers and kids who have special needs and needed to be in the building for social reasons or whatever. So it was a very quiet day in terms of with kids, but a day filled of questions and not enough answers and trying to figure out how we're going to manage back to school properly next week when all the kids come back. Oh, yeah. So Gail, it kind of, I don't know, it goes back to my kindergarten days. This big end of the glue stick reminds me of those Elmer's glues that we had in school, and I was just taught to create the little bubble and then spread it, and I don't know, it kind of stuck since kindergarten. So yeah, I have Mrs. Shelby Reese to thank for that. All right, so now I'm going to take some black baker's twine. Now this does come in actually a full pack of colors, and these two in the middle, the gray and the black, actually go really, really nicely with all the papers in this designer series pack. And I just happen to have an extra roll from back when we used to carry black twines independently of other colors. So it is the Baker's Twine Essentials pack if you're going to try and pick up your own black twine out of our catalog. Now, let's see. Finding some scissors, that might be a challenge. All right, there we go. Those were not the best choice of scissors. Yeah, the Elmer's glue. I know. So I wrapped that around twice. Now, before I tie this, I'm actually going to take my one end and loop it under both pieces of twine. And there we go. And then tie a knot. This is not the easiest. I cut my thumb yesterday at work, and now I've got this big band-aid that is making everything challenging. There we go. All right, so not too bad. All right, so I've got my bow tied there. And now I'm just going to shrink it up to the size I want, because I don't want like a giant bow across my page. It's not really that kind of a card. I just wanted a little something extra of interest on our card. Okay. And then once I've got that tied, I'm going to go find proper scissors. There they are. And trim up the ends on here so I don't have frayed ends. And then I'm going to separate those because I did double wrap it so that I can get kind of that nice like crossover look happening. And there we go. Kind of put my ribbon where I want it. All right, so with my ribbon tied like that, we can now attach this piece to our card front. I'm going to grab some dimensionals to do that. And the card base that I'm using is also smoky slate. And so it's just a standard card base. And I'm going to flip this over and we're going to pop these down. So now is where we get to have a little bit of fun. We've created our base, and now we get to create some accent pieces and add our sentiment to the front. And this is where, like, you could really go in any direction with this. You've got your background created, and now we're going to create like a fun little bundle of things here. I'm just going to like put a whole bunch of layered things down. So first thing I'm going to do is grab those dies. I like to get my die cutting done. And so in here we've got the one that makes the two two trapezoids, and then the first actual hexagon. We're going to grab that one and the one that's slightly larger. And so we've got both of those, and we're going to use those together to cut out. First of all, we'll use the larger one to cut out just a black hexagon. So I'm going to grab my big machine again. I could make do. Actually, you know what? For this one, I will use my small one, just so that you guys can have a better view of what I'm doing. Oops, just dropped a little. There we go. All right, so I've got my plates, and now if I haven't shared this tip with you before, I think I have. I don't use the plate that they tell me to use when I cut. I actually use plate 3 with plate 2. I find it creates a better, like it slides through more easily. All right, so we're going to pop that on and roll this one through. Now, you heard that big crack. That's because I didn't follow my own advice. I put that hexagon through so that the flat edge was leading. Should have put it on here so that the point was leading, and then it wouldn't have made that big crack. Now, the reason I really wanted you to be able to see what I'm doing is because the next piece that I'm going to run through, I'm just going to have to trim this. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to do a quick cut. Right. So the next piece that I'm going to run through, I've got this piece of, oh, hi, Shirley. I've got this piece of designer series paper from our pack that has the gold stripes on it. And I'm going to take my largest hexagon, and I am going to put it down so that the point is leading. But more importantly, I am putting it down so that, let's see here. I'm putting it down so that the stripes are, I guess, perpendicular. That's the word. Wow, I'm having to relearn all my geometry words with this set. So I'm putting it down so that my stripes are perpendicular to my side, so that they run straight across. And then I'm going to take this next hexagon and put it right inside, as evenly spaced as I can. Now, if you're worried about those slipping, you can grab a piece of washi tape and hold those together. I am going to be brave and just go for it. Okay. So now what that has done is, oops, it has created for us two pieces. We have this cute little striped hexagon, and we also have this cute little striped outline of a hexagon. And so we're going to use that one on our card. And this one I'm just going to save for another day. Okay, so that's done. I have one more piece to do, but we do need our big machine for this one. I am going to grab one of our new embossing folders. Let's see, so I don't need those plates. So I do need our big machine and my base plate one. And then one of our new embossing folders. This is called Hive. And I'm going to take that black hexagon that we cut and just throw it in. It doesn't even matter where it lands. And I'm going to roll it through with this Hive embossing folder. And it creates the coolest design. And of course, it goes very well with the hexagons in this suite because a hive is just a whole bunch of hexagons. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but no, there we go. It is a very cool pattern. All right, so with that done, let's set that off to the side. We are going to start gluing little, oh, I'm sorry, I lied. We're not going to start gluing little bits on. We're going to do a little bit of embossing first. So I'm going to grab my ephemera kit here, and I'm going to pop out one of these hearts. I could like stand a pack of just those hearts. That would be so incredible. They're so pretty. And then, let's see. I'm going to come over here. I've got an ephemera pack I've been playing with already. I'm going to come over here and grab one of these gold stars. And I think that's it. All right. So that's all I'm going to take out of my ephemera pack. And before we start gluing any of this stuff together, I'm going to take this little heart and I'm going to put a sentiment right onto the heart. So from our stamp set, we have lots of beautiful sentiments to choose from. I especially like the I miss your face. But for this one, I'm going to do a thank you card. So I've got the thank you on a block here somewhere right in front of me. There we go. And I've got my Versamark ink. So we are going to actually, sorry guys, I'm just going to quickly treat my heart with my Stampin' Emboss Buddy. So if you don't have a Stampin' Emboss Buddy, because they unfortunately don't sell these anymore, these are ancient product, I've heard a dryer sheet will work well, or a little baggie of cornstarch. You just kind of want to soak up any oily fingerprints that may be on here. All right, so now kind of down towards the bottom of our heart, I am going to stamp the word thank you. Pull that off. So the Versamark is a clear ink and it doesn't dry very quickly. So it's a little bit tacky. You notice I had to like actually pull the heart off of the stamp because it's stuck so much. And then I am just going to bring in a piece of scrap paper here because I'm going to bring some black embossing powder, and I actually don't keep my black out in a tray. I just keep my white out because I use white so much. But my black I just keep in its container and don't use it as much. All right. So you can use a small paintbrush if you need to wipe off any extras, but I just poured the powder over top of the Versamark ink and it stuck. And then I just tap away the excess there and put this away. It makes such a mess, but it's so worth it. Oh, hi, Cindy. No worries. So we're just working with the Abstract Beauty Suite. And I was letting people know that right now with this suite, if you purchase it from me, you get free access into a mega stamp camp that I have coming up. All right. So this might get just a little bit loud right now because I'm going to heat up this embossing powder. So there we go. And you can see just how like really beautiful that is when you emboss the black. It just makes it really pop. Okay, so now that we've got that done, we're going to take our little bits here that we've created, and I'm going to just use liquid glue again, like nothing fancy here, not getting into the dimensionals or anything. I'm just going to throw some liquid glue onto the back of this. And when I place this down, though, I am going to place it so that it goes over top of my threads and off of my designer series paper, but still on my smoky slate layer. And just press that down. Now here I am going to switch to the other tip and use that for my little gold hexagon here. And I'm just doing the tiniest, like not even really a bead. Like I got a little bubble going and now I'm just kind of dragging it. I'm not doing a full on bubble line on there. So really, really sparse with that. And this guy, I'm going to pop down on a diagonal again and kind of tuck him under that thread. Now, I want it just a little bit like that. There we go. I don't want any of my edges to be like flat to the top and the bottom. I want them all to be on a little bit of an angle. Okay, so we've got that done. Now I am going to grab some mini glue dots. So now we do sell these on a roll, but I happen to have some leftover ones here from a paper pumpkin. And I'm going to pop that onto the back of my star. Now, I don't often use my Take Your Pick tool, but when I'm working with these little mini glue dots, I certainly find it easier for taking off the backings as well as for picking them up. Okay, and then I can even use this to place it. So, oh, come on back. Oh my goodness, it's like all bouncy. There we go. And I'm just going to put that gold star up in the top corner of our heart. Now, the last thing here is I'm going to pop 2 dimensionals onto the back of this heart and put this onto our card front. And I'm going to bring it down here where it kind of covers up where the thread crosses and the 2 hexagons meet. There we go. And it looks like I actually need an extra dimensional on this heart just to pop up the bottom. Just the way all the layers worked. There we go. All right. So we're just about done. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more bling to this because we've got our fun little black hexagons. And I'm just going to add a few of these. Oh, good morning, Lila. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, so it is such a fun suite to work with. All right, so on this card, I think I'm going to go with black to add in a little bit onto here. So I'm going to grab this largest of our hexagons and pop that down there. And then maybe a medium and a small. Actually, all right, like that. There we go. And just a little bit more bling around there. And I love that it's a hexagon, so it's like totally right in line with everything else that we've got going on with this card. So that is our card today, created. Oh, those dies are definitely a hidden gem. So the bundle, if you're just looking at the stamp set and dies, the bundle is the Hello Beautiful bundle. There we go. But it's actually all part of a larger suite. So you get the stamp set and dies. And then in the suite, there's also the adhesive backed hexagons and ephemera pack that has some really beautiful, my gold bits, where did they go? Oh, there they are. Some really beautiful little bits in there in our ephemera pack. Some absolutely gorgeous designer series paper that's actually a new size for us. It's a 4x6 designer series paper. So it has the gold flecks on one side of the paper. And oh, here's another one of my favorites. Oh, you guys, you'll love this one. Where did it go? There we go. Like just so beautiful. So the gold flecks on one side, and then the other side is like patterns and stripes and all like matte images. And so really, really nice color palette in this one as well. So we've got that designer series paper. And then it also comes with the card bases and envelopes in a watercolor and a solid like whole card front kind of coloring. So that is the whole suite: the cards, the paper, the ephemera, the adhesive backed hexagons, and then the stamp set and dies. And so, yeah, like I was saying, with the purchase of this whole suite, you actually get access to our mega stamp camp for free. And so this isn't one of the cards from the set, but definitely something that you could make with your suite. And then if you are a demonstrator and you already have this stamp set and dies, then no worries, because you can just check out the link that I put into the description of my video, and there's options there. If you live outside of Canada, so you can't order with us, we have a PDF only option. If you are within Canada, you can grab the whole suite, which is the best deal, and get access to the stamp camp for free. And if you're a demo and already have the stamp set, then we have another little deal where you get like all the bits and stuff, but no stamp set and dies. So check it all out. And then the other thing that I do have going on is my product shares. I actually have 5 different product shares. One of them is just the designer series paper. So you get like a quarter pack of every one of the new mini catalog designer series papers. I've got a ribbon share where you get 2 yards of all of the ribbon that's in our new catalog. I have an embellishments share where you get a really wide variety of embellishments, including these cute little hexagons. And then I've got a specialty paper share where you get like all sorts of strange things, like even the slimline envelopes and kind of all the stuff that didn't fit neatly into a category. And then, of course, I have the I Want It All product share, which is all of those shares that I just talked about all in one big bundle. And that's like the biggest cost savings. You literally get a little bit of everything in the catalog for $145, and that includes your shipping and everything. So yeah, it's a really awesome deal. You'll want to get in on that early, just so that you're not waiting on product, because if things start to go out of order, then it'll wait. Like I won't ship things separately. I'm shipping all or nothing kind of deal. So if things go out of order, out of stock, then I'll either have to stop my product shares or you'll have to wait to get your stuff. But right now I have everything coming. Nothing was back ordered for me, so that was lucky. So yeah, so spots are limited for the stuff that I actually have on hand to send out, and then if you sign up late, we'll just make it work. Yeah, so that was it. That was my card for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I hope you have a great day. We're in for a winter storm warning tonight, so I see lots of stamping in my future, which is nice. Christmas was a bit too busy to do much. So yeah, contact me if you have any questions. The links to both my product share and the stamp camp are in the description of this video, and I'll see you all next Wednesday. Bye.